Ho 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 everyone, GXVL is back when it comes to 7 days of Birthmas. And it's the 5th day and we're going to be talking about fighting games. That is right, video games that have a lot of action when you're fighting each other one side by side, okay? And especially that let it either be 2D or 3D of all things, okay? Or maybe they could try to spice things up and put them together, okay? So yeah, I really do love playing fighting games. It's been part of my childhood and up to right now when it comes to life, okay? And just that you know on how it all started is that I actually played Dragon Ball Z Budokai 1 with my big brother and also Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Battle 22. So yeah, that's where the starting point of me getting into fighting games all started before playing the likes of Mortal Kombat, Street Fighters, and many other type of video game titles. Alright, so I actually did play a lot of Dragon Ball Z fighting games for the most part, and then also Naruto when it comes to Budokai, Tenkaichi, Burst Limit, Raging Blast, Ultimate Ninja, and Ultimate Ninja Storm. And one of my most personal favorites are actually right here. Just not too many, but just some though. These are the very prime 3, okay? I honestly think this is a very underrated gem if you ask me. Super Dragon Ball Z is an arcade that was ported to console, and you can customize one of your favorite characters. It has a small roster, sure, but I say they play very uniquely. It's pretty hard to navigate around and especially difficult to perform combos and special attacks, but hey, I still think it's a very fun game and definitely worth playing if you guys are into fighting games in general, or maybe Dragon Ball. As for these two, I just love this way more than Tenkaichi 3 because I honestly think when it comes to the customization is that you strengthen your characters with the Z items and you level them up. I get to level up Roshi and Krillin and try to make them a little bit more powerful. Sure, there's no Flight Z item that Tenkaichi 3 had, right? But in Tenkaichi 2, it's really cool and very fun to get invested in your favorite characters to get them as strong as possible. Heck, my two mains are actually Goku and also Android 18. Maybe some of them, such as maybe Majin Vegeta, so to speak, and maybe another character like Turles are also my personal favorites to play as. And then, of course, right here we have Budokai 2, which I gotta say, can I just mention that they made the story mode very wacky and so whatever-y and fan servicey in a sense. I gotta say, it was very damn fun playing Budokai 2 to the death. I'm not kidding, and just that you know, this was going to be a birthday present or a Christmas present. Yeah, it was a Christmas present that was going to be given to my big brother, but then he passed, so I decided to take upon the game myself. All right, so yeah, I just really love these games so much, and of course that Tenkaichi 3 and Budokai 3 are good games, but they're not my most favorites, and especially that I like to go to the other ones that I like going back to, okay? And especially playing Shin Budokai on the go on the PSP. And let me talk about with Naruto just for a little moment when I say that one of my most favorite ones is definitely Ultimate Ninja 2 and Ultimate Ninja 3 for the most part, because with Ultimate Ninja 2's customization, it was leveling up and also switching many variation of ninjutsu, which was pretty nice and awesome if you ask me, and especially having a weird looking roster of characters to select from and having support characters. Of course, this was carried from Ultimate Ninja, the first game where I had the support characters. I'm not too sure with the leveling up parts though, but oh wow. And as far as I know, when it comes to Ultimate Ninja 3, no support characters, but you can still customize them at least through only with the ninjutsu. You don't technically speaking, level them up other than the other mode that was Ultimate Battle, so to speak. But hey, I still love playing those two games, Ultimate Ninja 2 and 3, and especially that Ultimate Ninja 3 has Anko to play as, who is one of my favorite characters that I mentioned before, right? When it comes to day 2 of animation. But then when it comes to Ultimate Ninja Storm 1, 2, and 3, I say they are pretty fine, decent games if you ask me. But I just think it kind of sucks that like I cannot play as Anko. And when it comes to Storm 2 and 3, it seems like they ditched the whole like walking on the wall. So I just think that kind of sucks. But hey, I still think it's very fun and serviceable, especially how the graphics look really nice. I don't think the Ultimate Ninja series as a whole, including the Storm ones, hold that much skill. If I'm being honest here, I mean like you're basically pressing the circle button and the arrow pad a lot, and of course you're throwing out like ninja tools. So maybe there is some sort of skill, but I just wish I could perform other buttons to perform such actions. Okay, other than just the substitution jutsu. Okay, but then I just think it really sucks that like Ultimate Ninja 5 did not came in. I played Ultimate Ninja 4 and I thought it was pretty cool to play as, but man, I just really wanted to play Ultimate Ninja 5 and yet that never came out in the US of A. Oh well, maybe I might make a video about that sooner or later just to vent or rant about it, okay? And then, of course, I cannot ignore when it comes to the biggest video game titles when it comes to fighting games, which is Mortal freaking Kombat, which I gotta say, I love Mortal Kombat. I actually started playing it when it comes to Mortal Kombat Armageddon on the PS2. Its character creation was, I'm not gonna lie when I say this, not that good, but it was still kind of fun though, right? It was kind of like mediocre at best, but I still had a heck of a fun time playing it, and I found like my favorite characters around there, such as like Liu Kang and Taven, but not the zombie Liu Kang, okay? But when I played Mortal Kombat 2009 on the PS3, right? Yeah, definitely Liu Kang and then Sub-Zero and Jade, they were definitely one of my most favorites to play as, especially Melina. I'm like, oh, damn. I like to play as Melina for maybe obvious reasons, but also that she kicks butt. But aside from all that, yeah, I really want to get to know more when it comes to the likes of Liu Kang himself and Eva Sub-Zero and Jade. Sure, Jade looks attractive, don't get me wrong, but I mostly want to get to know more about her personality and backstory, and I think this is where the whole characters thing come in. While I have been playing, of course, Mortal Kombat XL, which was, you know, Mortal Kombat X, and now I have Mortal Kombat 11 on both the Switch and PS4, I gotta say though, they are pretty fun in introducing like these special guest characters, and to bring up characters, like there's one particular character that I have in mind that I'm actually a huge fan of, and especially from Street Fighters, known as Cammy. And I actually have, hold on, this. I actually have this story, like a manga or novel or whatever you want to call it, type of storybook that is about Cammy, because I wanted to know more about her when it comes to the whole backstory and personality. And I gotta say, it was really good to read, and especially that her arch enemy, I'm pretty sure his name is Bison, you know, the big red meathead type of guy. Isn't that his name? Let me know in the comments below if I'm getting that wrong. But yeah, I gotta reread this and maybe do a review sometime in the future, okay? But yeah, Cammy is indeed one of my most favorites and is my main character to play as in Street Fighters. I actually I do not own any Street Fighter games other than playing it on maybe on my Nintendo 3DS when playing Super Street Fighters 2, if I'm not mistaken, if it's called that. But I actually played Street Fighter 4 with a friend of mine, which is Sentry, okay? And of course, he beats my ass whenever we play any type of fighting game, and which is fine. But sometimes I'm like, sometimes maybe I just want to win for once, and I'm like, yay, that's good enough for me. So I'll carry on with my day, right? And of course, I also play fighting games with Mac Tran, so yeah, I just love playing fighting games, okay? But then we get to like other ones such as like Dead or Alive and King of Fighters, which I'm not too big and crazy of, but I did play Dead or Alive 5 last round on my PS4, and I gotta say, it was really fun to play as, and especially implementing Attack on Titan of all things. So I'm like, okay, then like fencers. Awesome, and especially when it comes to the ladies, like the female fighters. Ayane, one of my favorites, actually. And then, I, I think I totally forgot to mention this. You know that fighting games have some movies, right? Well, um, there's Mortal Kombat. I love the first one. The second one may not be good, but it's such a guilty pleasure. I've only seen some clips on YouTube, and I really need to uh got to like catch up with it yet again. But yeah, I just love watching movies based off of video games. Sure, they may not always be good, like objectively or critically speaking, but I still want to have a fun time. And heck, there's one particular. Well, there's not really. Well, how would I put it like this? I love playing Godzilla. Okay, the Godzilla Unleashed on the Nintendo Wii. I thought it was kind of fun playing on the PS2, of course, but it didn't have that much monsters. And of course, I did play Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee on the GameCube, right? But I mostly just play Godzilla Unleashed. So the reason I bring up Godzilla is because, like, think of the Godzilla game, but instead of a full-fledged fighting game, it's a beat 'em up. You still want some destruction and maybe beat up other monsters in a sense, just not like a full-fledged fighting game. That is Rampage, and I have Rampage World Tour on my Nintendo 64 still. And I go back to my grandma's to play that like once in a while, especially with my best buddies. And I just can't believe it got a movie. Okay, I think that's pretty damn cool. If you ask me, I love watching it. I really, really do. Because I just love giant monsters and destruction and all that stuff. So yeah, sometimes I rather bring up my inner monster than as a fighter or a warrior. All right, but yeah, I do want to unleash my inner fighter and warrior. But speaking of which, when it comes to warriors, Soul Calibur, I cannot forget about Soul Calibur, of course, because it has the most famous, funnest character creations of them all when it comes to being so damn creative, right? And I actually played Soul Calibur 4 on the PS3 as a starting point, and then I played Soul Calibur 3 on the PS2. Played Part 5, of course, but it didn't turn out that well, but it had a good excuse on how it turned out because, you know, Japan with the whole tsunami or tidal wave, whatever. So, yeah, that gets a pass. Soul Calibur 6 is just basically what Soul Calibur 5 should have begun with, right? But, yeah, all in all, I love playing fighting games. And what are your most favorite fighting games ever? And who are your most favorite characters that you wish to get to know more of? All right. And by the way, I forgot to mention this. Robin Xiao Liu Kang is the best Liu Kang. And I can't believe he's not even, you know, in freaking Mortal Kombat 11. They throw in those movie skins and yet they didn't include my boy Robin Xiao Liu Kang. But oh well, what can you do? This has been Jigsby saying off right now. Later.